Wood.
And I'm Laura Merzig. Welcome to On Location.
On Location is North Penn Television's monthly program designed to highlight areas within the North Penn School District.
Today we'll be taking a look at how the Industrial Arts program has changed at the middle school level, and we will visit a cheerleading practice at the high school.
And we will learn more about the school district's educational foundation.
Today we are on location at the Penndale Middle School, where some very big changes are happening to this building. Let's go to reporter Zach Sizwick, who has more.
For a school that has had its name changed 5 different times, Penndale Middle School is finally going to receive the internal and external changes that it needs. Art Wood, Director of Facilities, described the interior changes that range from new electricity and plumbing to new chalkboards.
It's actually a life extension to the building whereby we'll be doing many things that are not necessarily cosmetic, but more mechanical. New heating system, new electric, new plumbing.
As far as the outside renovations go, many parents will be happy to know that their children will no longer need to go near Penn Street in order to meet their buses. A new bus driveway has been built that stretches the length of the school, allowing all the buses to be in a specific spot for a quick and efficient pickup. The addition of this driveway eliminates the need for a bus circle.
Well, one of the things we wanted to do with the driveway, we're going to eliminate the bus circle. Our buses always had problems getting in and out of there. It was a very restricted area. We had a height problem under the bridge. And quite frankly, we're putting a second level on the bridge. And that's where our elevator will go in that corner, and that will be our handicap access so that you come in, get on the elevator, you can access all 3 levels of the building. But we wanted to make that just a pedestrian circle, so that will be for pedestrians only or student activity after you're coming out of the cafeteria, passing through to class. Be no more vehicles in the bus circle.
A switch is being made to use double pane glass instead of the current single pane glass for the windows to save costs on heating. Another change being made to Penndale is that of the second level adaptation to the already present bridge, connecting the newer building to the older annex. This second level of the bridge will cut down the hallway traffic buildup that has grown over the years. Also, an elevator is to be added to make areas more handicap accessible. Art Wood has also said that this was one of the reasons for the delay. Plans had to be changed in order to comply with the American Disability Act.
In other words, the building will be in full compliance with ADA, American with Disabilities Act. So that meant that everything had to be revised as far as lowering light switches, going from knobs to lever handles, revamping all of our handicapped bathroom facilities, and we just really got into more engineering than we had thought. I mean,
serious interior and exterior work should be undertaken in the next couple of months, and they plan to have the new renovations completed by September of 1996. How are the students adjusting to the changes? 9th grade principal Don Venema has found that the low number of students has had a positive effect on education at Penndale.
I think the experience of having 9th grade alone in the same building has been a positive one. The students have accepted it well. They're not necessarily enjoying the fact that we are officially called a middle school, but unofficially we are a freshman center. And having a school to yourself as a class is kind of unique, something that we may only experience for these next couple years. But they've enjoyed it. I think the students appreciate the fact that there are fewer students in the building. It's less crowded in the halls and the cafeteria. That has really been an advantage.
The class of '98 enjoys the freedom of the halls and cafeteria being less crowded, and they're having a lot of fun bonding together as a class. Also adjusting well are the teachers, who have had to change their classroom due to the renovations to different sections of the school. Venema feels that these changes in the school will revive some life, and the bright colors and new equipment will make it more functional.
The way I understand the plans, this is going to make this a functional school for the next 50 years and really revive the life of this building.
Yeah, we make a pretty good musical team, huh?
I know we do. Well, we're recreating this production. North Penn High School Theater is creating another great production for 1995.
And once renovations are complete here at Penndale, the 9th grade drama production will have a fresh new place to perform.
Renovations to this auditorium and this entire wing of the old Lansdale High School are set to begin soon.
And part of the renovations here at Penndale will include the addition of technology labs.
Technology labs?
It's a new approach to industrial arts. Penfield and Pembroke implemented this new program in September. Let's go to Rob Fournier and Jody Rogers, who have the story on this program. And let's try this again, Laura.
If you were to walk through the halls of Pembroke or Penfield middle schools, you might notice a change. You might see students using walkie-talkies, watching videos, or even using a robotic arm. The students are using the new innovative Tech Core program. Even though they are having fun, they are already being prepared to look at different occupational fields.
It prepares a student to look at many fields and allows him the chance to explore these 5 technological systems, such as communications, on a very broad base, where his first year in will say, when we talk about communications, we mean electronics communications, we can mean it through a video electronics or a radio electronics, or we could mean it through desktop publishing, anything like that. And then as he works towards the high school, he can start to narrow his focus.
The students are taught in 5 broad technical-based fields. The first thing students learn about is communications.
They can be doing satellite communications, where they can garner the raw feed from CNN and create their own newscast by moving next door to the video editing station.
In this unit, the students are taught the history of communications and modern communication methods. This unit also covers modern applications of graphic communications and electronic communications. The second unit students learn is transportation. In this unit, students learn about radiant, chemical, mechanical, electrical, thermal, and nuclear energy, as well as how it affects transportation technology.
We have units on aerodynamics, and they can utilize a wind tunnel to test different shapes. We have a unit on air track studies for transportation.
The construction unit is the third unit to be taught. Students learn about modern methods and materials used in designing and building structures for residential, industrial, business, and public uses. Also near the end of the unit, the kids get to build their very own edible building. The fourth technology subject is manufacturing. The students' focus is on the many materials, methods, and techniques used to make products. Students will also learn about the impact manufacturing has on life. The fifth and final technology subject is bio-related. This course shows how technology can be applied to environmental issues. Also, students will learn about new advances in medical technology and biomass utilization.
We used to have a unit wood and a unit metal lab. So we were emphasizing those 2 fields only, woodworking, metalworking. And even though we were trying to introduce some more technologically advanced activities, we were still doing it in this unit lab, and it really limited us. So we were really emphasizing teaching kids how to develop basic skills for working with tools and the industrial processes. While here we can take these technological fields and we can have a student use his knowledge, skills, tools, etc. to solve problems. We can hand him a problem on construction or manufacturing or in the bio-related area, and he can utilize all these sources to work through to a successful conclusion.
It is a different approach, but it's an innovative new way to teach students at a young age all areas of technology. So as you can see, this new tech core system helps give students an insight into a possible job in the future.
Like 2.8 gives you what? Why?
Bill Waddington, one of the technology teachers at North Penn High School, was just honored with the National Teacher Excellence Award, sponsored by the Technology Association of Pennsylvania and the International Technology Education Association. Bob Bateman, the head of the technology department at the high school, was one of the several people who wrote recommendations for Bill Waddington. Mr. Bateman feels that it was easy to nominate Mr. Waddington for this award because of his enthusiasm and his unique way of teaching.
I've watched him come into North Penn and bring many young, up-to-date ideas and his enthusiasm, I guess, to the district. So we were we were kind of floundering a little bit maybe and needed somebody to help assist us to get us moving. And we had this vision of where we thought we should be heading from this change from industrial arts to technology education. And Bill came in probably at just the right time because, well, we had, as I said, a vision of where we were heading. Bill was able to come in and help us to finalize that direction.
Yeah, some of the activities that I do are just off the wall. You know, I've been observed already and had water pistol battles going on in the classroom. Students are having a real good time, but at the same time we're learning about pneumatic systems working along with hydraulic systems, timing how fast the water is moving through the air, as well as volume per trigger squeeze and that kind of stuff. Well, while it was sort of a controlled water pistol battle, we were learning a lot of different activities, but the activity itself is different.
Mr. Waddington believes that just being nominated for this award is enough honor in itself.
I was pretty excited. I mean, I knew that I had been nominated, and actually to be nominated for it, I took that as an honor. To have somebody say that we think the quality of your work is meritorious enough of an award, that in itself is quite an honor.
Mr. Waddington hopes that from this award, the technology department will gain added exposure and more students will become interested in this field.
I think that the exciting thing about technology education is that technology is constantly changing. And no matter what we do, we can't keep up with technology in an educational environment, but we can certainly encourage students to learn aspects about technology and learn to develop those with regard to whatever career interests they might have later.
Technology education class consists of many areas, enabling students to focus on an area of interest or to help them find an area to go into. Students in Bill Waddington's technology class can appreciate his teaching style. Mr. Waddington's classes are interesting and fun. Congratulations to Mr. Bill Waddington on receiving such a meritorious award.
Just live with it.
That looks like a great program.
Yeah, I wish I could have done something like that in middle school. As you can see, I was never really good at any of this metal stuff.
No, I guess I didn't do too bad for the first try. And here's something else you probably wish you could have done. The North Penn School District Educational Foundation has funded some very exciting programs for elementary and middle school students.
Stephen Bassman has a story, and I'm going to keep working on this project for my mom.
Reading backpacks, grow labs, special artists, and musicians that perform for students are all great programs made possible by the North Penn Educational Foundation Grant. Educational Foundation grants at North Penn have been available for teachers for nearly 7 years. The Educational Foundation was founded out of the need and the interest in providing an additional level of enrichment for students. Each year, teachers can apply for a foundation grant for any project or program that enriches the learning experiences of North Penn students. The Education Foundation is funded through numerous individual and corporate donations. This year, 37 foundation grants were approved and initiated. Here are 3 examples of foundation grants. At Walton Farm Elementary School, teacher Luann Justice began a reading backpack program.
Parents actually who approached me and said, what can we do at home to encourage reading and to do some projects with reading at home to supplement what you're doing in the classroom? And when I found out about the educational grants, I said this would be a great opportunity for me to do something. I chose a variety of authors of the books to put in the backpacks, Caldecott winners, multicultural backgrounds, to give a variety of authors as well as reading abilities in the backpacks. The children sign them out and then they're able to do the activities on a rotating basis. There's all kinds of activities that the parents can do, extending main idea that I do in the classroom, sequencing activities, as well as a wide variety of enrichment activities.
Each week, the students eagerly await their chance to take home the backpack. The idea of the home reading activity was to get the parents and their kids to work together to strengthen reading skills and to help the parents and child develop joys of reading.
They've seen such exciting books in the backpack and been doing these activities that each of the students in my classroom have written their own book. After reading these books, they felt, I can write these books too. So they've each written a classroom book for our own classroom, and now they're in the process of writing a book and a publication for the library in which their books will be barcoded and will be checked out by other students in the school. And they're so excited to get these books published, and they are authors now too. These backpacks have motivated them to be real authors.
After their week is up, students return to the classroom and share their experiences with the class. This Educational Foundation Grant program wants to instill the joy and fun of reading at an early age.
They are just so motivated to read. They can't wait to get the books and to read. I think it has improved their sequencing skills. I think that the main idea of a story is they have a better idea of what the main idea of a story is. The enrichment activities, they're done in a fun way so that they really have a joy of reading, and they're fun activities that they can also do with their parents and then come back and share them and we share them in the classroom.
To encourage other children to read this book. This song and dance band.
Oh, neat, John. What did you like about that
Science
book?
is another area that foundation grants are working to bring hands-on activities into the classrooms. At Pembroke Middle School, Patty Van Tryon's 8th grade class is studying photosynthesis. This educational grant helped bring what is called a grow lab right into the classroom.
It allows them to take part in discovery and try to investigate their own questions. I'm merely a guide with them, and I will be manipulating their environment. I will introduce aphids. I will let them go for a couple days without watering them, and let them try to solve their own problems. Decide what has happened, form a hypothesis for what they think the outcome will be if they change some of the variables that they're working with now. If they change the light, if they change the amount of time that we leave the lights on. The lights do have a timer. We can leave the lights on for a 12-hour shift or a 16-hour shift, and then they will be responsible to make those changes to see if their hypothesis would be proven or disproven.
From this, students can watch the effect of regulated sunlight, water, and soil on plant life.
It allows for the students to see a natural environment at any time of the year. We're no longer inhibited by the season. For example, right now, if I wanted to take them outside and show them various plant life, I'd be unable to do that because of the snow cover, okay? So it allows them to have the opportunity to grow plants and see plant life evolve right before their eyes without being inhibited by the weather outside.
This grow lab can also move from classroom to classroom. Once one class has finished their research on photosynthesis, another class can begin theirs. At the Gwynedd Square Elementary School, foundation grants are helping to enrich the students' musical and cultural awareness. Jill Swavely, a chorus teacher at Gwynedd Square, asked for and received several interesting African instruments.
Here in February, we had an African-American celebration here at Gwynedd Square. And that whole day was set aside to work with African musicians, African artists, storytellers. There was an African weaver that came. And my privilege was to work with the African musicians all day long. They were in my room and playing their instruments and working with the kids. And it was so much fun, and the kids were so excited about their music that I wanted to do it on my own with the children. But
after hearing the musicians play the African music, they all had their chance to make their own.
They don't just play the drums, they have patterns that they have to work out. And each drum gets a different pattern. That's what makes it so difficult to play African music. Each drummer has their own specific pattern that they play. And once you know your pattern, then you put them together with all the other drums, and you have this really intricate rhythm.
In this lesson, the students are reading and acting out an old African story. Using the instruments and learning all the different rhythms, students receive a new lesson in music. This program is improving the students' awareness of a different culture through customs, stories, and music. As you can see, the North Penn Educational Foundation Grant provides new, exciting, and innovative approaches to education and will continue to do so for years to come. For North Penn Television, I'm Stephen Baxter.
The North Penn Educational Foundation has given many students something to cheer about.
And speaking of cheers, two on-location reporters had the opportunity to join a practice of the North Penn High School cheerleaders.
As reporters Ashley Laverde and Brian Clementis found out, it's a lot harder to be a cheerleader than it looks.
Endurance, to do like all the routines over and over again with practice. You have to have a good attitude, you have to be happy all the time.
Your skills and patience, you have to have patience when things don't go. You can't, be negative. You have to be confident in yourself and in all of the other girls as well.
A lot of cooperation, a lot of hard work, a lot of giving up things that you're used to, like work, your social life. You have to be willing to make friends and cooperate with anybody that is on the squad who is different. You have to have a lot of strength. It takes a lot of strength to be a cheerleader. And you have to have a lot of endurance.
Here's a North Penn trivia question. What team at North Penn is not a team that practices year-round and attends almost every major sporting event and doesn't compete in them? What team at North Penn can do things most athletes here can only dream of? If you haven't guessed by now, it's the cheerleading squad.
That's right, the North Penn cheerleaders. They often get looked over when people think of serious sports at North Penn, but the cheerleaders take their sport very seriously.
You have to be an athlete, and it actually takes a little bit more than it takes to maybe be a field hockey player or a basketball player, because you have to be good in more than one thing. You have to be a gymnast, you have to be a dancer, you have to be able to cheer, get a crowd going, motivated, so it takes a lot to be a cheerleader.
They practice 4 days a week and attend almost every basketball, football, and soccer game, home and away. And all of this while preparing for their frequent competitions.
We'll usually practice every day that we don't have a game in preparation for a competition. The couple weeks before, we might be in here 6 days a week preparing for competition, 2-3 hour practices.
Most people would think that cheerleading practices are some cushy gossip sessions. But they work hard, as I found out when I spoke with the squad.
Usually we start off with running for gymnastics.
Through, standing back handsprings, gymnastics as far as tumbling, and then we try and, work on individual amounts for the games.
You have to at least practice 4 to 5 times a week. Sometimes we practice Monday through Saturday. You have to have gymnastics. You have to have excellent stunts. You have to have good dancing.
This group works very hard and demands and deserves respect. But the disheartening thing is that they don't always get it, which can be very frustrating. Their coach put it all in perspective.
It's actually a lot better than it was when I started. This is my 7th year, and I also cheered here when I was in high school, and it's a lot better than it was at the time. More people are realizing what it takes to be a cheerleader, and it's not just wearing a short skirt and standing on the floor and smiling. It's a little bit more than that.
The squad shares her views.
I would definitely say that cheerleading is a sport. I think a lot of people say, well, you're not competing at games, you're not against anyone. But when we do get down to competition, it's competing just like any other sport.
The worst part about the respect issue is that often no one realizes the difficulty of the moves they do, like back handsprings, mounts, and posts.
We keep hearing about how hard cheerleading is, so I figured I'd go and get a behind-the-scenes look. And to help me is my cameraman, Brian Clementis, because this is something that I am not going to do alone. Let's take a look. This is going to be a lot harder than I thought.
You gotta push her off. Dude, I missed it. Jump with your. Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't even know. You're shaking. Relax. Ready? Yeah, you ready?
Wait, hold on.
Here, you push this back a little. Okay. What you doing? What you doing?
It's pretty safe to say we didn't do so well. Now try doing 6 of those in a row. But cheerleading is more than difficult gymnastics and workouts. It's a great learning experience. And throughout all the hard work, the team has become great friends and has a lot of fun.
Knowing that you're part of the school and that you go to every game for a purpose, and just being
like part of the squad. The friends you make, it's kind of a different feeling when you make the friends here. You know, even though you may not hang out with them every weekend, you know, you always know that you can tell them basically anything.
The friendship is the greatest thing that has come out of this whole thing. We've all been together since 8th grade. We know every single thing about each other, and I think that's why that helps us be such a good squad.
Now that you've seen what goes on behind the scenes in cheerleading, maybe next time you're at a football, basketball, or soccer game, you'll give them a cheer. For On Location, I'm Asher Laverne.
I think Asher and Brian should stick to running camera.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Well, that's it for this edition of On Location. We hope you enjoyed your time with us today.
If you have any questions or comments about On Location, we'd like to hear from you.
Just mail questions and comments to North Penn Television On Location, 401 East Hancock Street, Lansdale, Pennsylvania, 19446.
Until next time, I'm Stu Lapote.
And I'm Laura Merzig. We'll see you again when we go On Location.